Well, hiya, BookTube. Bill Ruttenberg here with the Ruttenberg Library. Wanted to come to you with a video, and it's been a long time. It's been a hot minute since I've put one out. It's been a couple weeks, almost maybe 3 weeks, and yeah, life got away from me, or time got away from me anyway. Life didn't, but anyway, we've been pretty busy here at the Ruttenberg Library with just various things. School, especially school has been. We've been working on some projects at school and stuff, and it's been just consuming my time. And we've had stuff going on here at the house, and so anyway, no more excuses. I'm gonna get some videos out. I do have like a list of videos that I want to do that are all kind of lined up. I just got to film them, and I'll be quite honest, I don't know how well that's going to go this week. We got family coming in from all over the nation to celebrate my father-in-law's 70th birthday. Happy birthday to my father-in-law. He's coming up from Texas, and I got a sister-in-law coming tomorrow from... where's she coming from? Oh, Colorado. Oh, goodness. It's early, BookTube. Please forgive me. But anyway, she's coming in from Colorado. And then I got another sister-in-law who flew in Friday, and my wife went and picked her up from Alaska, clear up in Fairbanks, Alaska. And so if you don't know your geography, you're starting to get up towards the Arctic Circle up there. That's quite a ways north. But her and her husband and their kids flew in. There's a new baby, and so we get to cuddle with the baby. So I don't know how many videos I'm gonna get shot, because I like holding the babies. So anyway, what this video is going to cover is my March TBR, basically, or just possibilities for March. Maybe that's somebody else on BookTube, and I can't remember who said it, but every time you do a TBR, you can't get it done. Something comes up and you go down a different avenue with your books. So maybe I should just say pile of possibilities for what I would almost like to just deem reading events March, because there are so many things going on. So as I go through here, I'll talk about the different reading events that I hope to participate in one way or another. So the first reading event that ever since I've gotten on BookTube, I have participated in, and I've absolutely loved it. It's even, I would even say, changed my reading. That's how how much it's BookTube has changed me. It's changed my reading. I read a lot in this genre, or quite a bit more than I used to anyway. And so the first reading event is March Mystery Madness. I absolutely love it. Mysteries, they are a favorite. And because of you, BookTube, I found Agatha Christie, and I have fallen in love with her books. And so to start off with, I have got what I believe possibly will be the next Marple a Month book for Peg and Martine over at the History Shelf. They've been reading a Marple a month, and I think this possibly could be the next one. If I'm wrong, well, then I'm wrong. But anyway, I plan on reading Sleeping Murder. I just got done reading, and I'll talk about this in a February wrap-up video in the coming days. I just got done reading The Murders Announced. Absolutely loved it, and I just want to keep going with this series and keep listening in on Peg and Martine's reviews of the books and movies. And I just watched yesterday the movie that went with The Murders Announced. But the next one in line is Sleeping Murder. I'll read the backside to you. It says, as soon as she moves into Hillside, Gwenda knows there's something strange about this house. A sealed room, a hidden door, the apparition of a young woman being strangled. Strangest of all, this all seems quite familiar. As her friend, Jane Marple, investigates, the answers seem to lie in a crime committed nearly 20 years ago. The killer may have got away with murder, but Miss Marple is never far behind. And so everyone's favorite old lady, Miss Jane Marple. So that'll be my first one for March Mystery Madness. The next one that I am going to partake in is, and here we go, BookTube. I've messed this name up over and over and over again. And the worst part is, I know I have. I have tried. I have listened to things on how to pronounce it online. I've listened to videos on how to pronounce it. You guys in the comments section have given me little spelled out things to help me pronounce it. I started watching the mystery series because I wanted to watch a mystery series, but also so I could sit and try to pronounce this name. So here I go. I am going to try Hercule Poirot. Hercule Poirot. Never mind. Just forgive me. I'm trying, folks. I know I'm terrible at it. But anyway, this is the next one in the Poirot series, Poirot Investigates by Agatha Christie. Thoroughly looking forward to reading that. And if I didn't say so before, I read 3 Agatha Christie's in February. And like I said, February wrap-up, I'll talk about that. But I'm absolutely loving them. And I've gotten into some other series, like the Poirot series. I may even like those better than, I think I do. I think I like those better than Marple. I love how she lays out the mystery and lays little clues here and there. I'm loving it. So, Agatha Christie. Let's just stick with her for the March Mystery Madness. This is Agatha Christie, Murder at the Manor, and this is a collection of 3 different books in one. So it looks thicker than her usual. That's because there's 3 books in there. This has Crooked House, Ordeal by Innocence, and the 7 Dials Mystery. So I'm looking forward to starting to dig through that. Will I finish it? I'm not sure if I'll end up getting it finished. Those first 2 I definitely will. This one I might, this one might drag through a couple of months just because I don't want to read all my Agatha Christie's all at once, even though it's very tempting. Another possibility, this looks like a cozy mystery that I found at our local community center, and so like a bag of books like a Walmart sack of books for $1, and so it cost me pretty much nothing, little to nothing. And this is a Victorian mystery. It's called Mrs. Jeffries Defends Her Own, and it's by Emily Brightwell. Never heard of the author, never heard of the series, so that's going to be a total surprise. If you've heard of this out there, BookTube, please let me know. Let me know if this is going to be a good one or not. If I read it and it's not something special, it might be one that gets donated. I'm not sure. But here's another one that for March Mystery Madness, and this is the last of the mysteries that I know of right at this very moment. But anyway, this is Sherlock Holmes, and I talked about this last year, and I didn't get it started. I did a very bad job. I'm not saying I'm going to read the entire thing, but I am going to dip into this and start to read it. And maybe over the next couple of months, I'll end up getting the whole thing read. But this is wonderful. It's got, not just the double column stories, but it's got the pictures throughout, as you could see. And these are the original illustrations from when it was published. So I'm looking forward to that. I've never ever read Sherlock Holmes, and I know that I'm committing a crime there, so you don't have to call me out on it in the comments section. I know that, but I'm going to alleviate that issue. So that brings us to another reading event. And the next reading event everyone is pretty familiar with is March of the Mammoths. And that is where here on BookTube, we dust off the shelves and we go pick out 1, maybe 2, maybe 3, depending on how fast a reader you are. I am slow, so I won't pick out that many. But you pick out those 800 or more paged books, 800 pages or more, and dust them off and actually read one of them. Start getting through them, because the size of the book sometimes intimidates readers, and they buy it with good intentions and then they leave it. So for me, what I'm going to do, and that happens to me from time to time, being intimidated by the size of the book, because it's a big commitment. This next one has been a big commitment, but I have so thoroughly loved this book, and it is Centennial. Now, for March of the Mammoths, I'm going to continue reading this, and what my hope is, I'm going to really hammer on this, I think, and try to get this. We got a spring break coming up here in, 2 weeks, I think, and so I am going to really hammer on, or maybe 3 weeks, but I'm going to hammer on this, and I'm going to try to get it done by spring break or in the week of spring break. And I'm already about almost 2/3 of the way through the book. And so I've almost got this done. So I know that really doesn't count for March of the Mammoths, because I don't know that I wanted to tell you how long I've been reading this. It's just been, I read 5-10 pages each time I pick it up, because it's got nice little breaks in the reading. And so it's like nice little segments as you get, 15-20 minutes here, 15-20 minutes there. And so I kind of read off and on through this, and I think I started it in June or July, something like that. So I'm embarrassed of that, I know, but it has been such a wonderful reading experience. I highly recommend this book. But right now I'm in the chapter that's talking about, and Centennial is like a town in Colorado that was created, and it's Michener in his usual style is doing a sweeping history from the beginnings of time all the way towards the present. And Centennial is all about Colorado, the history of Colorado. And right now I had been reading about the cattle industry and its importance, and hunting the buffalo to near extinction. Sad part of history. And now I am getting into sheep coming out on the open range, and so causing some major arguments there with the cattle ranchers. But I should get that done in the first part of March. And so the next mammoth that I am going to start, because I do have the James Michener initiative going on here at the Ruttenberg Library, where I'm trying to read, I'm trying to go through all the Michener books. Now, I'm not doing this with like so much emphasis that that's the only thing I'm reading, but I am like, I want to get at least one major work per year done. If I can get a couple of them, that would be great. So Centennial was last year's major work, and this year I am going to, as soon as I'm done with that, I'm going to be reading Hawaii. And I think I've talked about Hawaii on the channel before. I started it as my SSR read. I mean, I'm not very far at all. Let's see, 22 pages in. It's not, I haven't even made a dent in it, but it's another mammoth. It sits at, let's see, 1,130 pages. So that's going to be an endeavor, but I hope to get that done in 2023 as part of that James Michener initiative. So that is two, count them, BookTube, 2 major events that I am taking part in. So here's another one. And in the past, I have made more of an effort. This year, I'm not going to put such an emphasis on middle grade March, but I am going to read a couple of them. This was a new book that I got a couple months ago by Avi called Loyalty. Goes all about the American Revolution. It's got a beautiful cover. I saw this in the bookstore. It was a cover buy. But I've read a few of this author's works for middle grade and upper elementary, and I really enjoy them. I think he does a really nice job. But I'm really looking forward to getting through this. It's a fairly short book. Keep in mind it's middle grade, so they read pretty fast. I mean, you're talking 341 pages. 341 pages. So all about the American Revolution. Look forward to that. And then the other one is also early American history, and it's called 1787 by Joan Anderson. And this is all about the writing of the Constitution. I've actually started this like a long time ago, put a bookmark in it, and I ended up walking away from it because I was using it as my SSR read at school, and something came up. I stopped reading it. I liked the story, but now I'm going to go back and actually read the whole thing all over again. And it's a pretty short one. It's sitting at about 200 pages, but it was quite interesting, again, about the writing of the Constitution. So that's 3 reading events. So now the next reading event that is taking place on BookTube that I am actually a co-host and part of, and then I want to get this book started, and just see how well I do with it. I don't know, with all the stuff I'm reading, I don't know if I'll end up getting this one read, but Egyptian's Golden Couple, How Akhenaten and Nefertiti Became Gods on Earth by John Darnell and Colleen Darnell. And this is that area of history where I'm pretty blank, so I should be learning quite a bit from this. looking forward to that. I've talked about that one, so I'll kind of move on. This is not an official reading event. This is like a Ruttenberg Library reading initiative that I wanted to start this year. If you follow the channel, you know I collect baseball books, baseball biographies, and I absolutely love to learn about baseball players of the past and present. It's just one of my loves. I'm a coach. I play sports, or I used to anyway, when the time came, and so I wanted to start something that would really be right up my one of my special interests with baseball. And so I'm gonna start here on the Ruttenberg Library once a month during the baseball season. I am going to read I'm going to try to read one baseball biography once a month for the entire baseball season. I'm going to call it opening day. And so for opening day, the kickoff for opening day is this book called The Closer, My Story, by Mariano Rivera and Wayne Coffey. Mariano Rivera was a closer for a relief pitcher for the New York Yankees, one of the best in history. Absolutely enjoyed, just loved watching him pitch. He was a class act, in my opinion, and I think most baseball fans would recognize that if you're a Yankees fan or not. I'm a Kansas City Royals fan, but I do recognize the greatness of Mariano Rivera. He was just absolutely awesome. But anyway, I had started reading this book at one time at Walmart while my wife was shopping, and I had started reading, and I got maybe the first chapter or two read, and absolutely loved the book. And so I wanted to start this reading initiative opening day, and this is going to be my one that kicks it off. And then I'll try to read, this will be the March one, and I'll have one for April, May, June, July, August, September, and then I'll finish things off in October, of course, with the World Series. But wanted to start that and see how I do. I read enough baseball biographies throughout the year, especially when summer hits, that it shouldn't be an issue. So looking forward to that book. And then, as if all of that was not enough, I do have a couple of buddy reads that are going, and I'm going to have to figure out somehow how to balance this. The first buddy read that I've got going is A Distant Mirror by The Calamitous 14th Century by Barbara Tuchman. And it's a good book. I have not got as far as my good friend Brian, and of course Steve Donahue. I think he just did the finishing video. He was doing a read along, and I told Brian, I said, I want to read that. I bought it, and I really do want to read it, but there is no way I'm going to be able to keep up with all the stuff I'm reading, and as slow a reader as I am, no way am I going to be able to keep up with Steve Donahue on his read along. I really wanted to read it so I could go watch his videos and just listen and see if I agree or disagree with what he's saying. And anyway, Brian goes, well, I've been wanting to read it too. Let's read it. He reads a little faster than me, and I know he's really starting to want to get through the book. And so I'm going to continue to pick at it because, chapters are about 20 to 25 pages, so it's not terrible. And if this was summer, I'd be able to rip through this, I think. At least do a chapter a day, if not a chapter and a half to two. But right at this moment, because my reading time is limited, I told him I think I told him, if not, Brian, I'm telling you, I'm going to have to slow down a little bit because March, I love the month of March and the reading events we got. So I'm going to probably slow down in this, and I imagine Brian's going to continue because he's wanting to knock out some books that he's in the middle of, and totally understand, and I am not offended whatsoever. So go for it, Brian. And hopefully, and I think he's going to continue to send me messages on what his thoughts are, because I absolutely love getting his thoughts on books. And by the way, BookTube, you ought to go check out Brian MR, his channel. He runs a great channel. He picks out a lot of books that I don't even know about, and he has some great interests. And I just go check him out. Pretty cool guy. I really enjoy the friendship that we've built through this. And he's also a guy, if you're looking for a buddy read, I bet he'd probably do some buddy reads with people, especially if you're in his wheelhouse on. I know he likes science stuff. He likes science fiction. He reads religious works. He kind of reads all over the place, but he's got some real niche areas where he reads, and so go check him out. Go check out his channel and get a hold of him if you're wanting to try a buddy read. So anyway, and then the other one that a couple months ago I got Patrice Jones contacted me on Voxer and said, "Hey, Bill, I'm trying to line up all my buddy reads, for the whole year, and I, enjoyed our talks together on Voxer with the books we were reading." She said, "I have bought The Revolutionary by The Revolutionary Samuel Adams by Stacy Schiff." And she bought this book, and she was wanting to read it, and she was asking me, "Hey, do you want to read it together?" And I was like, "Absolutely," because I had just gotten the book also was it for Christmas? I think it was for Christmas. And I think it was for Christmas. Let's see. No, it was my anniversary present, excuse me. So just after Christmas, because our anniversary is a couple days after Christmas. But anyway, Patrice was like, "Hey, you want to read this together? We could do a buddy read in March." And March has crept up on me. It's here. So Patrice and I got to get a hold of her, but we're going to start this buddy read, and I'm really looking forward to this. That's exciting stuff. So BookTube, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 books on the docket. There is absolutely no way I'll get through all of those. That's why we're going to call this, instead of a TBR, that's a pile of possibilities. So stay tuned to the channel through March. I'll talk about how they're going, and hopefully my videos can become a little bit more regular. I do have a book haul that needs to be filmed, and I got quite a few books last weekend. And I probably, just to keep the video from going too long, I'll probably shoot it in two videos. I'll probably split it up. And then also, I know I have a book tag I got to get done. I have a March wrap up to get done. I've got a lot of stuff I got to get filmed, and so just be on the lookout for that. But again, I've got family here for the next week, and so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I can juggle things. But anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for being patient with me. And BookTube, until next time, happy reading.